Essay conclusions. Now, the conclusion to an essay should reassert your topic to the reader, your thesis that you argued, the point that you were making throughout your essay. It should remind the reader what each of your supporting points or arguments were and how these actually supported your overall thesis. Just like in your introduction, you should have one sentence for each of these supporting points and arguments so that that information is really clear. Try to end your conclusion with a sentence about your thesis or your topic generally rather than one of those supporting points or arguments. This helps round off the conclusion and it's much less abrupt for the reader. Stylistically, it's a nicer finish. And also in your conclusion, do not include any new information, any new examples or evidence or arguments or perspectives. You should just be wrapping up, reaffirming, and driving home your point in your conclusion. So let's have a look at an example conclusion, and this is from the same essay as the example introduction that we looked at in another video. So, Levin employs numerous archetypal Gothic conventions in his novel Rosemary's Baby, but alters each to make it contemporary and also incorporates features in his novel that are not considered Gothic. Rosemary, who initially acts like a typical Gothic damsel in distress, ultimately becomes an independent woman who is no longer submissive to or controlled by the people around her. This technique is a reflection of the emerging feminism at the time. Levin's characterization creates humorous undertones throughout the text, creating a more realistic situations and hence inducing stronger fear in the readers. This sets it apart from traditional Gothic literature. Finally, the mysterious and menacing setting of Rosemary's Baby in the Bramford is contrasted with the flourishing and lively surroundings of Manhattan in 1965, producing an environment that is simultaneously modern and Gothic. Levin's novel combines traditional Gothic conventions with contemporary aspects of literature, resulting in the creation of a new, modernized style of horror. So, similarly to this student's introduction, the opening sentence here makes really clear what the topic is, what the question is that they were answering, and gives a sense of the thesis that the student's arguing for, that Levin has altered the genre to make it contemporary. Okay? The second sentence here, again, makes clear what the first supporting argument was. Okay? And what is happening in this conclusion, in contrast to the introduction, is that there's some reference to the effects of these choices by the author. Okay. This student's actually used two sentences to explain this, and that's totally fine. This technique is a reflection of the emerging feminism at the time. We have a reference to historical context here. The student then recaps their second supporting argument, okay, about the humour and about the style, okay, and again we've got some reference to effect, the sense of it being more realistic, okay, and that creates another particular emotional reaction in the readers. And their third supporting argument is here in red. The fact that there's a particular setting, okay, and then the student rounds off their argument that it combines traditional conventions with contemporary aspects, and that's actually created a more modern subgenre, if you like. So we have 5 sections to this conclusion, which recaps the overall argument, the supporting arguments, and ties it off nicely at the end. Good luck with your conclusions.